Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I've been trying to get these two young gentlemen, these successful entrepreneurs on the show for years. I mean it, years. And finally, today, they're both on. I'm excited to have Dave Baier and Julian Joseph. They're with Citywide Investments, and we're going to learn about what that means. We're going to learn a little bit about their background, but they have an event coming up on May 16th. It's at 5:30 at Novelty 101. And we're going to talk about that step into investing. Welcome. You did it. You're here. How you guys doing?
Long overdue, Ted. Yeah.
We finally made it, Ted.
Finally made it. I've had the pleasure of watching them work. Boy, they work. When I'm at the Citrus Club, I know y'all think I'm just up there doing nothing, but I am watching I'm watching other people work. And so they are just hungry and hustlers and entrepreneurs in such a positive way. And they have built their business together. And so we're going to get the 411 on that too. So let's take a deep dive into that a little bit. I'll start with you, Dave. I told you before we went live, the audience loves a little bit of an origin story. So take us from point A and how you got into a partnership with Julian.
I really appreciate that, Ted. Man, so, it's crazy. It's been like 5 years, right? And people think that we've known each other since high school or that we're lifelong friends. But it started back when I was in corporate America. And, I was very fortunate that I climbed the corporate ladder pretty quickly at a young age, right? Graduated from UCF. And then Go Knights, that's right. And then I got a job right out of college that was like a training program for corporate level management through PepsiCo. And, at the time I thought it was great money. I worked there for about a year. And then, I saw the corporate bureaucracy, right? Yeah. And I saw just kind of a limit to, to my growth potential. So that really didn't align with me. And anyway, I found another job that was in the healthcare staffing industry. And, at this point in my life, I was just determined. I was like 27 years old. And I always had a goal. By the time I was 30, I wanted to be making at least six figures, right? So this next job, I literally was making probably double what I was making at PepsiCo. So I reached that goal by the time I was 27.
Awesome.
But long story short, it really didn't align with who I was, right? I didn't feel myself. I felt like I was pretending to be somebody who I wasn't. At the same time, that job, I got to really work directly. I was a director of sales. So I got to work directly under the CEO of the company, who was a really high level guy. He was also the CEO of 14 other companies. So
wow,
really high level guy. And I learned a lot from him, just being around him, having meetings with him daily, and really one-on-ones weekly. So, he really helped my growth. And at that job, I really got into personal development. I really started reading a lot of books, really just getting really serious about my personal development. Whenever I would go on trips for the company, the whole time I would be on plane rides, I would just be reading books. And then I had friends that were in real estate. And then for me, the book that changed it all was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I was on a flight to LA, and it's like the book that gets everybody into real estate. I devoured that book, the whole plane ride, the whole time at the hotel. I literally read it 3 times on that trip. And from there, I just made my mind up that I was going to get into real estate. I was going to get on the investing side. I didn't know what that looked like because I wasn't starting from a place where I had a lot of resources, money, even know-how, right? I wasn't coming into with any of that. It was just really sheer will and determination. So I had a goal of saving a certain amount before I would quit my corporate job, and I did that.
What was that amount?
It was $26,000 because I wanted to be able to. I had just bought a brand new house, 3 beautiful young boys, right? I have, at the time, my twins were not even 1 year old. And then I had a 3-year-old. And it was scary. It was scary taking the plunge. I had just bought a brand new house, having that commitment, but, I did it. And I got into real estate as a realtor initially. And I really just only focused on working with investors, right? And it was at that time that I met Julian. So I was really heavy into this community called Bigger Pockets.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
Yeah, there you go.
Exhibit. Yeah, you're Exhibit A, Julian.
and it's funny how, you know, Julian, if you want to tell, like on Bigger Pockets, he had asked a question about, I think it was house hacking. Is that right?
Yeah, and I can go into that when I go into mine, but I did a post about that, and he commented on it.
Yeah.
Well, I love that journey though. That's the most concise but detailed explanation of point A to B I think I've ever had on the show. So kudos to that. Wasn't boring. It was entertaining and engaging. And now I completely understand how you got where you want. You can go back and look at other shows where people, sometimes they don't know how to get from point A to point B. They go like this and like that. God bless. They're all over the place. So kudos. So that's good. So Julian, share. Now tell us a little bit about you and how you hooked up with this guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So very, very similar in the sense that I was also in the corporate America space. My dad worked for corporate America for 30 years. He's still working for them today. And so I knew that was my path. I was kind of like my guide. But I would always see him come home upset. So I knew that corporate America was going to be like my next phase, but it wasn't going to be my long-term phase. And so I went into corporate America knowing that this is a stepping stone for me. So I was in it. Now, before I move forward, I'll tell you that corporate America was never for me. And I knew that from the beginning. And they knew that because I've been fired probably 3 times. I've been fired from 3 corporate jobs. And, while I'm there, I was always trying to look for more. How can I gain more? Whether it's how can I get promoted or how can I just learn and develop my skills to get to the next level. And I don't know where that comes from. I did play sports growing up, and I always had the will to be great and the will to want more. And so, I think just with that being said, I'll say in the summer of 2018, it was going towards the summer of 2018. I had a cousin of mine that was telling me, and we always had conversations, how we can make more money. And he says, hey, I've heard of this guy. His name is Max Maxwell. He's this real estate guy from North Carolina, and he's posting all this content on YouTube. He's talking about flipping houses with no money. I think you should really look into that. And I was like, what are you talking about? It sounds like a scam, And I looked into it, and, I ended up going down a big rabbit hole. And I was like, you know what? This looks legit. I think this is worth trying. I have nothing to lose, And so after work, and maybe sometimes during lunch at work, I was looking at YouTube, looking at videos, trying to just learn. And I would say by the time I had got fired for the second time, and I was on this job.
He was on strike. He was on strike too.
I was on strike too. So by the time I had gotten fired the second time, I knew that the next job I was going to get into, I was going to save half of my check every time because I didn't want to. Because I had to be prepared. You have no security in corporate America. Right. So once I realized that, I saved half my check, each check. And when I did get the tap on the shoulder this time, because it came, I had about $7,000 saved. And,
nice.
And it was enough for me to, I have my expenses covered for the next X amount of months, 6 months, 7 months. And anyways, it was around that time that when I was still working, when I had created that post on Bigger Pockets, and I was asking about house hacking. And it's a strategy that you can buy a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, live in one unit, and you rent out the rest so that essentially you live for free while also gaining some income.
Absolutely.
And so anyways, he commented on my post, and I forget what. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then Julian DM'd me, and eventually I don't know who brought it up, but I think Julian was just like, hey, we should just grab some drinks and hang out sometime. And then I was like, for sure, let's do it.
Yeah. I believe in, the biggest influences are going to be your 5 closest friends, right? Like your circle of friends. And I didn't have any friends in real estate. And so this was an opportunity that I saw that I can have one of those, and I can learn from him. And, you know, who knows, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And you obviously did.
Yeah.
So you have a partnership, you have citywide investment. What makes you all different? Like I can speak from experience watching you all work. You're almost always on the phone, almost always, or at least you were.
Yeah.
And I think you still are. But what is it that's different about your partnership and your company?
Yeah. So, I mean, what's different about our partnership is there is 1000% trust, right? And I think that's the foundation of any healthy relationship, partnership, friendship. So, you know, there's just 1000% trust, right? So it starts there. You know, I know that Julian has my back no matter what. I don't have to worry about, you know, what he's doing, this and that. And I think it's, you know, the same vice versa, right?
Yeah, same.
You know, that's, I think, what is different about our partnership. And then, you know, I think we do a good job of checking our egos as well, right? You know, it helps that we have a lot of aligned interests, a lot of similarities, a lot of things that we're both interested in. But of course, there's differences too. And I think we've learned to appreciate those differences. They make us unique. They make us who we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm strong in areas where Julian might be weak, and Julian is strong in areas where I might be weak. And, you know, that really helps our partnership. You know, I would even say our mindsets as well. Yeah.
We complement each other in that sense. And it's brought us a lot of success in that way. Also, like with any quality relationship, with any long-lasting relationship, there's always communication, which we do. We make sure that we communicate something that may not be something we feel right about or whatever, maybe something we love, right? Like it's just important to communicate and that we're aligned. And so something that, you know, maybe wasn't the best in the very beginning, but just like our business, you know, we grew as people too.
That's right.
And grew in our relationship.
That's right.
We're like an old married couple now.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so
you
funny.
can tell. I was going to ask you, because you sort of finish each other's sentences, which is what happens when
it's funny. As far as the company, what differentiates us, you know, it's very different than the traditional way of doing real estate, right? Where you know, there's a realtor involved, and you know, there's you know, a loan and so on and so forth. Our way of doing real estate is very different. And it starts with us specifically in our business model. It starts all around finding great deals, right? Doesn't matter the kind of property, whether it's a multifamily, whether it's a single family, a condo or townhouse or whatever. It all starts with finding great deals, right? And that's really our business model. When you boil it down, it's really simple. We find deeply discounted properties. We do a lot of different marketing channels to be able to find those deals. And then once we have those deals, typically we have different exit strategies or options that we could use to either sell those properties to another cash buyer, investor. Sometimes it's just playing the middleman, which is essentially what wholesaling is, right? Yep. We find a great deal, right? There's equity in this property. Yep. We have also a cash buyer who wants to buy this deal. We have it at a really low price and we sell it to him at a slightly higher price. Yep. And there's still equity in him, or there's still equity in the deal for him to be able to fix and flip it and make a lot of money too, right?
Just marry the two.
So that's essentially the business model.
It's a lot of people have, I believe there's a lot of people who've tried that model. Yeah. And I think that what separates you all is you really, first of all, there's a partnership. A lot of individuals seem to do this, but a partnership, a company that does this, an investment company, your company, Citywide, that's unique from my experience. Usually it's one guy who's out there and he's got his home, he's got his he wholesales or he does whatever he is. He's got all the people to fix and flip. But you actually have come together and created something that's, in my opinion, unique. There's not a lot of what you do out there. And you're going to share that. So let's talk about step into investing. caught my eye. Of course, for the record, they had not invited me to attend. I had to see it on their social media. You know, that didn't hurt at all. No, I'm kidding. But I love the concept of it. So talk about, why did you want to do this and why now, and what people can expect when they register. And just so you all know, the Eventbrite link to register will be in the comments below and in the post below, or you can always reach out to me. But go ahead and share the why and what people can expect.
I'll let you start.
Oh, wow. I was going to let him start.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say first and foremost, you better be there at the event.
Yes. Yes.
I will. I will.
Yeah, I know
Thank
you
you.
registered. I know you registered.
Yeah, we're expecting to see you there.
Yeah. The registration needs to match the action. The action needs to match.
Nice. Calling me out. All right. Back to you.
Yeah, essentially, you know, we're going to be bringing a lot of people together in this event. It's going to be a great opportunity for networking with other people who are involved in the investment world. And agents are going to be there. Lenders are going to be there. Brokers are going to be there. And we want to highlight what it is to, of course, find deals, but then also how we can work together and make money together, and just bring that opportunity to other people, bring that opportunity to other people who don't know about it. And also to have us as a cash buyer in their pocket. You know, a lot of these real estate agents go out there and they're trying to find deals for the conventional buyer, right? And you know, sometimes maybe they can't get that inspection approved or the loan approved for maybe a property that needs some work to it. And then what some real estate agents do is they just throw that deal away. They say like, okay, I guess there's nothing I can do here. But then you have us, and we can still make an opportunity here. So,
yeah, or they're working with an investor if they don't really know if this person's legit. They don't know if this person actually closes on deals, right? So we really just want to get our name more out there in the community. Believe it or not, we do a lot of transactions with realtors, right? Whether it's a realtor bringing us a deal, helping us to find a buyer. There's a lot of ways that real estate agents can make more money with us, you know, and do more deals, right? In a less typical fashion. So high level, what the event is about is just us showing who we are as people and as a company, showing other agents a different way of doing real estate. Again, a way that they can make more money, do more deals. And then we'll be also going over some quick case studies of just some recent deals that we've done, and just going into a little bit more depth of what that looks like. And then next steps for, you know, whether it's, I mean, it doesn't have to be an agent, right? It could be anybody that wants to make more money in real estate. Coming to this event will basically be walking through people, very high level on how they can do that, and then what those next steps look like.
I think that's so needed, because I have been to a lot of workshops or seminars, panel discussions, and it's amazing to me the lack of discussion. So the case studies is such a good thing, because a lot of people like to do this very high level, ethereal kind of discussion, and then the people leave going, I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And then they make bad mistakes, don't vet the people they're working with. There's a lot that can go on. I've heard horror stories firsthand. And so for you all to be able to come out and share that and really kind of show them what you all have done in real life scenarios that happened and that you got done in your company, that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people don't share that knowledge because they're afraid. And I think it's such a great thing that you guys are sharing that. I think any of my realtor friends, if you're out there listening, my investor friends, all you guys who are dabbling and you want to take it to the next level, you definitely want to come to step into investing. Tell us again where they can find out more. We've got all of their Instagram, Facebook, scrolling across. By the way, that is 2 underscores there, one after Julian's name and one in between Dave's first and last name. So don't think that that's just one like I did. But what's the best way for them to reach you? How do you want them to reach you?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Instagram is always the easiest, right? So our Instagram handles, like Ted said, are right there floating on the screen. Our Facebook page as well, you can connect with us there as well. And then I think in the show notes or somewhere there will be a link to the Eventbrite for the event. Yeah. So obviously that would be the easiest way for people to register to the event, you know, and just learn a little bit more about us and what we do. Yeah. you know, kind of everything we just said.
Yeah, RSVP. If you ever thought about it and you were just hesitant to get into it, real estate, this is not the time to do that. Hit that RSVP link. Come network, have a good time. You get 2 free drinks.
Right, 2 free drinks.
You get 2 free drinks if you show up.
There's going to be a lot of high level people there. It'll be a good time.
I think Ted will show up now. Ted might show up.
my liver just RSVP'd, so we're excited. I love it. All right, so I always like to ask a personal question. Don't worry, nobody panic. I think I'll start with Julian. Because I want people to get to know you. You guys, obviously, your personalities come through. How can they not? And guys, just for the record, they're just as genuine and nice and informative and kind and funny as they are on screen. This is not a BS moment. This is who they really are. But Julian, when I say the word hero, who's the first person that comes to mind for you?
Oh man, wow. I think my mom probably would be the first person that comes to my mind.
Why?
There could be, you know, athletes and maybe, you know, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, right? He could be my hero right now. But my mom, I don't know. I think, you know, she's just always been there. She always took me to my sporting events. She just always, you know, she was just always there. And I don't think I can express the amount of love that I have for her back. She never takes things so seriously. She loves to have fun, loves to party. I feel like I get a lot of that from her. And then she, you know, when it was time to take things serious, she took them more serious than probably I would have made them at the time. But yeah, you know, I think that would be my hero.
Mom, that's awesome. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, the first person that comes to mind would be my grandfather. So,
tell me why.
Yeah, my grandfather raised really my sister. My grandfather and my grandmother raised me and my sister. But man, he just symbolized strength to me. He was a World War II vet. He would show me he would tell me stories and show me proof. During the war, he was given his last rites because they thought he wasn't going to make it. He got shot 6 times by a jet, like a machine gun, and literally like 6 bullets coming up. One almost pierced his heart, and they didn't think he was going to make it. They read him his last rites. But, you know, he did. He lived to be 89 years old, just an amazing family man. You know, he really just brought our whole family together. He was the most patient person that I knew. You know, he just had a lot of just so many positive qualities to him that, you know, that I admired and didn't realize, you know, how much of that he instilled into me until I got older. So I'm, you know, just eternally grateful for him and his presence in my life.
So beautiful. Y'all are you're going to get me all choked up, both of you. But that shows the kind of people you are. And I appreciate that so much. It's good for the audience to get to know you a little bit and know a little bit about you. You guys, I want you to register. The link, the Eventbrite link will be below. You can also reach out to them. That is their, I think the easiest way is Instagram. Both of their handles, both of their pages are there. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I know it took a while.
Yes,
I love every second of it. You guys register. It's next Tuesday, May 16th, 5:30 p.m. at Novelty 101, which is a really cool place. We'll see you then. Thank you both for coming on the show. I mean it.
Thank you very much, Ted. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. See you soon, everybody. Bye.